Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG, WTF, LWFTWBRIB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2001, booking the invasion angle, and tonight we'll be running Thursday Night Nitro. Got a good show ahead of us. Gonna find out who will face The Rock at Survivor Series, along with a lot of other surprises. So yeah, let's just jump right into it, shall we? We have I think a total of 2 pre-show matches tonight as we open up with a solid 80 rating here, or solid B with an 80 rating here, I should say. Impressive. Decent pre-show match here between Rhino going over Rob Van Dam in 9 minutes 34 seconds with the gore. RVD with a 63, Rhino with an 80. Look at Rhino bringing it in. And then we go to, oh no, we have a total of 3 pre-show matches. My apologies. We then move into our second pre-show match in a terrible pre-show match. The One, Billy Gunn, getting a victory over Jerry Lynn in 7 minutes 54 seconds with the Gunslinger. This got us a 48D+. Of course, the announcing gave them a little bit of a boost here. Billy Gunn with a 44, Jerry Lynn with a 48. Come on, Billy. That's abysmal. He's improving in performance, though. Jerry Lynn's also a good wrestler, so maybe that's why. And then we move on to the main event of the pre-show, so maybe RVD and Rhino should have been, but whatever. The main event of the pre-show getting a 72 B- in a pre-show bout that had decent wrestling, but not much weight and heat. The number 1 contenders to the WWF Tag Team Championships, Kanyon and Hugh Morris, going over Big Boss Man and Perry Saturn in 9 minutes 57 seconds when Kanyon defeats Perry Saturn with the Flatliner. As we knew before, Bossman and Perry Saturn have great chemistry, that's why I paired them together. Hugh Morris with a 68, Kanyon with a 74, Saturn with a 63, and Bossman with a 60. Also, Hugh Morris is improving in technical, and Saturn's improving in performance. I'm going to take a drink real quick before we open up the show. Also point out that still in Canada. It's our Canadian tour, don't forget. So we open up the show with a 100 A-star rating, nerds and geeks. And Thursday Night Nitro opens up with WCW's team captain, Ric Flair. He's already in the ring. He has a big smile on his face. And he says, "Canada, woo! Do I got some good news for everyone here. Because your king has returned. Ladies and gentlemen, my protege, and the latest member to join Team WCW, your hero, the Canadian crippler, Chris Benoit." And do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, Chris Benoit's music hits. And out comes the 2001 King of the Ring winner. Ric Flair is all clapping in the ring while his protege is making his way down to the ring. And then once in the ring, Benoit takes the mic and he says, "Rick, thank you, as always, for the amazing intro. How's everyone doing? Man, does it feel good to be back home in the great country that is Canada." Now, Rick, I know you and I had a talk about me joining Team WCW, but that was before I learned about this new stipulation that Mr. McMahon added. And well, it would seem that WCW is in need of a hero to step up, to take on The Rock for the WWF title at Survivor Series. And well, I think you'd agree, Rick, when I say there's no one better for the job than yours truly. So, Rock, you better start preparing, because come Survivor Series, I'm going to make you tap out and take home that WWF championship for WCW. That's when, bang, DDP's theme music hits, and out comes the WCW People's Champion. And Paige is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Now hold on a minute here. You're facing Rock at Survivor Series? Well, what if I want to face The Rock at Survivor Series? Why do you assume that you just get a world title shot, especially after you just lost a match at this past No Mercy? You think you just because you're the great mighty Ric Flair chose you to be his protege? Well, newsflash, kid, I've beaten your mentor before. Hell, I've even slapped his son around a few times for good measures. Plus, I've beaten The Rock, someone you can't beat. And, you know, I've beaten you plenty of times as well back in WCW. In fact, if you and I were to fight tonight to decide who'd face The Rock at Survivor Series, I'd win again. And then Benoit, getting a little intense, he goes, "Yeah? You know what? Well, fine, you're on." But tonight, don't forget, you're in my home. There is no way in hell I'm losing in front of my people. Tonight, Paige, I end you once and for all. And quick little promo to open up the night, confirming our main event, as we will see Chris Benoit battle Diamond Dallas Page, and the winner of that will go on to face The Rock at Survivor Series for the WWF title. A couple locker room incidents here. The Undertaker continuing to pass along tons of tips to his protege Mark Jindrak. This time it's on selling. Jindrak is getting spoiled now, nerds and geeks. And Jamie Noble was accused of forgetting to shake another worker's hand when entering the locker room, and then he was brought to locker room court. Judge Rock found him guilty and then sentenced him to buy drinks for everyone after the show. And that sucks for Jamie Noble, dude. That's a lot of money. Great way to open up the show. Heenan and Tenay were pretty weak. Strong start. Crowd got hotter. Benoit was very underwhelming, which is unfortunate. But DDP still using them subtle mannerisms to hint at a face turn. And The Rock versus question mark has continued. I wonder who it will be. Some of you probably already know because you've already seen it, because I was a dummy and forgot to delete it back in the day. Either way, we then go on to a solid B rating with a 78 as Lance Storm's music hits, and out comes the WCW Canadian Champion. And once in the ring, he takes the mic and he says, "Hello, my fellow Canadians, you can quiet down now. I know you're all excited to see your Canadian Champion, but I've got something I'd like to say. And I require silence. My fellow Canadians, you deserve a great champion, a champion who defends his country's honor, and I feel I've accomplished that. But since the WWF still holds a grudge against Canada because it lacks the heart and rarely ever stops by here on their never-ending tour of the world, so I rarely ever get to defend my Canadian championship on home ground. I don't know. And I'll be damned if I'm going to miss my opportunity now. So I'm holding an open challenge to any of you idiotic Americans in the back. It's time to end the debate once and for all and prove that Canada is and has always been better than America and any other country." That's when the Hardy Boys theme music hits, and out comes Jeff Hardy to accept Lance Storm's challenge, and we have an impromptu WCW Canadian Championship match to open up the night. Bobby Heenan was weak, but it did get the crowd hotter. We then go to a solid B rating here with a 77. Good on you guys. And about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Lance Storm goes over Jeff Hardy in 7 minutes 43 seconds with a handful of tights. He cheats on his home country. What's up with that? What's up with that? Handful of tights, getting the quick victory over Jeff Hardy, making his 11th defense of the WCW Canadian Championship. Lance Storm with a 79, Jeff Hardy with a 76. Where's that 90 rating at now, Jeff? No worker improvements, though, as we move on to our next segment, which gets a holy hell almighty. How? A solid A rating with a 91. This is a shame because the segment after this is going to bring it down. The match is over. Lance Storm, he's standing tall. He's still the WCW Canadian Championship. But before he leaves the ring, he decides to pay tribute to a fellow Canadian hero as he locks in the sharpshooter on Jeff Hardy. And he's got it locked in tight. Jeff's screaming in agony. He's tapping out. Referees are trying to pull Storm off, but Storm's looking to send a message to the WWF and paying tribute to a hero of his. I think we all know who I'm talking about. The Hardy Boys theme hits out again, and out comes Jeff's brother Matt, who races down to his brother's his save. Lance Storm already, he lets go. He gets out of the ring before Matt can get to him. And Matt goes on to checks on his brother, and he just starts, begging Lance Storm to get back in the ring while Lance Storm's just walking away with the Canadian Championship like, not worth my time, pretty much. And that starts a storyline between here. Remember, all the titles have to be on the line, which technically this next segment would start it, but it's a shame because how did this do so well? Like, wow. Jesus. Yeah, look at that. Lost that heat badly. We then go to a solid C rating here with a 61. Mean Gene Okerlund's backstage, and he says, "Well, fans, I'm back here with one half of the Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy, and after coming to his brother's aid, I can tell you're heated, and you got something on your mind, Matt." And of course, Lita's there with him, because that's his girlfriend. And Matt says, "You're damn right, Mean Gene. Lance Storm thinks he can go out there and try to put my brother on the shelf. Not only is that my blood, but that's my partner. And I'm not about to stand back and let someone make an example out of my brother. You know what, Storm? You want to fight? Then let's fight. I'm sure you've heard by now that every champion must defend their title against someone from the opposing roster. Well, why don't you step up and take me on at Survivor Series?" And that's when Molly Holly comes out of nowhere and takes Lita down and starts brawling with the WWF Women's Champion before Gregory Helms, her new boyfriend, steps in and pulls her off, and then Matt's holding Lita back at the same time while they're kind of talking trash to each other. And there you have it. Matt Hardy came across very well. Molly Holly was very underwhelming. Excuse me, Matt Hardy just came across well. Molly Holly was the one that came across with the word very in it. Either way, Lita and Molly Holly start their storyline, presumably over the Women's Championship, because now that Molly's dating Gregory, technically she's a WCW star. And the Lance Storm, Matt Hardy feud is kind of started. There's no official, acceptance from Lance Storm, so it's not official. But it did lose that heat from going from an A to a C. I wonder, this is probably going to be in a B territory now, but either way, we then move on to a impromptu tag team match with a 68 C+ rating here. And about that had decent wrestling, but little heat. Matt Hardy and Lita. That shouldn't be how this was. What the hell? Did I mess up? I put Gregory Helms to lose. It should have been the win. Shit. Well, let's just pretend that Gregory Helms won this, but... Oh no! Is that reason to go back? Or do we continue? Technically Gregory Helms was supposed to go over. I feel like this is reason to go back, Nerds and Geeks. It might screw everything up. You know what? No. There's no reason to go back. We have to just move forward with it. So, the reason why Matt Hardy and Lita won, we'll say, is because Gregory Helms sustained a damaged ligaments, whatever that middle, I don't know. So, impromptu thing happened here, and Matt Hardy defeats Gregory Helms with the twist of fate. Oh, I see. It even says that. Look at that. Huh. So maybe they changed it. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm really confused here. But either way, Matt Hardy and Lita defeat Helms and Molly when Matt defeated Gregory with the twist of fate. An injury to Gregory Helms meant that the audible was called and the finish was changed on the fly. During the match, we also had Lance Storm running an attack Matt. I'd imagine maybe this would be post-match now. I have no idea. Matt Hardy was head and shoulders above everyone else. Oh, that's a shame for Gregory. Oh, no. Lita with a 62, Matt with a 76, Molly with a 48, and Gregory with a 54. It gained heat for Lita and Molly, lost heat some more for Lance and Matt. Oh, that's horrible. Yes, we know. I wonder how bad he's going to be out. He's still able to do this segment, it looks like. This segment's kind of null and void, since he didn't win, and he got injured, but it does get a 58 C-. It's pretty much him just saying that, I just got an impressive victory, blah, 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 blah. Earning I beat you last week, so I've earned myself a cruiserweight title shot or something. And Kidman's music hits, and then he goes, "Are you stupid? You just injured yourself or something, and I guess you haven't been paying attention." But at Survivor Series, I'm supposed to defend the championship against someone from the WWF roster. And last time I checked, you're a WCW star, so I hate to say it, buddy. Not only do you look like you won't be competing at Survivor Series, but you won't be getting any title shot at Survivor Series at all. And then Helms is like, "What? This is an outrage. I've earned my shot when I beat you last week. Who on the WWF roster deserves a cruiserweight title shot over me?" And then Kidman says, "It's funny you mention that because the man I'll be facing is right behind you." And that's when you see Spike Dudley, who is supposed to kind of beat him down, but maybe he gets out of the ring in time while Spike just kind of looks off at him. Either way, this kind of confirms that Spike and Billy are going to be facing off at the match. We have no idea about Gregory Helms. I'll be honest with you, Nerds and Geeks. The original intention was for a three-way match, but with Gregory looking like he's going to be out of action, we might just have to do this with the one-way match here. And it kind of messes it up because I was going to play off Gregory, man, a lot. Oh, you're not the champion. There we go. Huh. Gregory, damn, dude. I feel so bad for him. Fuck. Messes up all my plans. We then go to a 78B to follow up here as the Steiner Brothers theme music hits, and out come the WCW Tag Team Champions. And they don't have their tag team titles. They didn't have their tag titles on Raw either. I didn't mention it. But once in the ring, Scott takes the mic and he says, "Everyone shut up! Chavo, get your ass out here. Don't make me and my brother come out there and find you. Last week, you stole my brother and I's tag team titles, and it's been affecting us so bad that somehow, some way, that bald bastard Albert beat my brother on Raw this week. Well, we waited a whole week, and Chavo, if you don't bring us our titles right now, I swear to God I'm going to break you in half." And then Chavo Guerrero's music hits, and out comes Chavo with just one of the tag team titles. And Chavo says, "Whoa, Scott, calm down, man. There's no reason to be this angry. If you want these titles so bad, all you gotta do is beat me for them." And then Scott says, "Chavo, shut your damn mouth. 1, where the hell's the other title? And 2, you don't even have a partner to team with. So just bring our titles down here, and we promise not to end your career, just put you out for a couple of months." And then Chavo's, I think I continue this actually. Hold on. I thought for a second I didn't know. Chavo goes, Don't have a partner. I mean, Scott, you asked why I don't have both titles. I figured that you would have figured it out that I gave the other title to, well, my partner." And that's when Latino Heat. Eddie Guerrero's theme hits, and Eddie officially makes his return to TV, and he comes out with the other tag team championships. And Chavo says, "You see, we Guerreros are warriors, and we're all ready to fight anytime, anywhere, and we're the best family in the wrestling business, and we're going to prove it to you two muscleheads tonight when we beat you for the tag titles." And then Scott says, "You know what, Chavo, whatever. We'll put the damn titles on the line if it means we get to end you and the Guerrero family once and for all." And once again, an impromptu title match here, as I guess in a way, Chavo and Eddie tricked Scott and Rick into putting the titles on the line here. And this will officially turn Eddie Guerrero. So Eddie Guerrero has switched to a degenerate gimmick, and he might not have gotten a legendary like he did on his Obnoxious, but he got an initial rating of great, so that's awesome. And it was a complete success. Eddie's a face now. Chavo did not come looking good, but Scott looked good. We then move on to the match, which gets a solid B rating here again with an 82. Well, shit. I thought I tested them. I might go and change. Can I change that? Someone comment below and let me know if you're able to change their chemistries or something like that. If not, I'll have to, suck it up. But, no. Los Guerreros, heck, come on. In a decent match, Los Guerreros go over the Steiner brothers in 9 minutes, 43 seconds when Eddie Guerrero defeats Rick Steiner by pinfall after illegally using the ropes for leverage, and they win the WCW World Tag Team titles. They beat him. What the hell? Isn't Albert supposed to have a run in here? Yeah, look. Okay, well, the way it works, I guess it doesn't show it here, but Scott got distracted, which allowed the quick roll-up for Los Guerreros to get the victory. Come on, though. Really? They don't work well as a team? Scott was, head and shoulders above everyone else. Chavo was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. They don't work well as a team. Come on. That's impossible. Of course, Scott and Rick have great chemistry. Scott shown in the match. Chavo had a 47, Eddie with a 64, Rick with a 78, and Scott with a 100. We then move on to just a quick little segment here. I didn't feel like writing it out. Tommy Dreamer cutting a promo before his WWF Hardcore Championship match against Ron Simmons coming up next. Pretty much telling him that he's going to teach him the word hardcore tonight. Of course, Tommy's girlfriend, Beulah McGillicuddy, helped him during this segment. 67C+, not too bad for Tommy. As we then move on to that Hardcore Championship match, which gets us a 76B-, and about that had decent wrestling, but not much weighing heat. Ron Simmons goes on to defeat Tommy Dreamer in 8 minutes, 11 seconds with the Spine Buster. following interference from Raven. Raven, the man who is kind of on the same side as Tommy, but not at the same time. Bitter rivals. Raven comes out and costs Tommy Dreamer the Hardcore Championship, and Ron Simmons makes his second defense on the Hardcore title. Looks like Raven's going to be the turning heel here, as Ron Simmons had an 81, Dreamer with a 57. I'd imagine Tommy looking good throughout the match, but until Raven comes out and kind of, attacks him and shiz, leading to, Ron Simmons to hit the spine buster maybe through a table or something. Tommy's improving in performance. You can't complain. Cannot complain there. Yes. We then move to a 76 B- as Lord Steven Regal is now out in the ring. It's set up with the table, has nice chairs, and Regal says, "Ladies and gentlemen, this past week on Raw, the WCW United States Champion revealed that he is indeed in talks with WCW and signing a contract. Well, I'm out here to confirm that and put ink to paper and officially bring the U.S. title back to WCW by signing Christian over from Vince McMahon in the WWF. So, Christian, if you'll please come join me." And that's when Christian's theme music hits. I guess by this time he should have a new theme song. Maybe, "Christian, at last you're on your own." Who knows? I don't know. Either way, Christian comes out and he says, "Lord Regal, it's an honor to join you in the ring, and it's an honor to be out here on Nitro to sign my contract here in my home country of Canada. Now let me just read this over real quick." And he looks at it, he reads it over, he goes, "Regal, there's a lot of nice perks in here in this contract, and I'd be making way more money than I was when I was working for the WWF. And then Regal says, "But of course, we here at WCW believe in paying our talent what they're worth." And then Christian goes, "Yeah, but you guys were only ever interested in me because I won this United States Championship. And as much as I'd love to embarrass my brother again, that doesn't mean I'm going to turn my back on the company that gave me a chance when WCW wouldn't. So screw this contract." And then he rips it, and he says, "And screw my brother, because I've beaten him already. Come Survivor Series, I'm going to show WCW exactly what they missed out on all those years ago, when I beat Stacy's pet dog, Chucky P." And that's when Palumbo comes over to the barricade, not letting him finish, and he slides in and jumps Christian, beating down the United States Champion, maybe hitting him with like the full throttle power bomb. I don't know if that's his finisher. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Maybe my buddy Christian's finisher, I don't know. And stands over Christian, holding a United States Championship, confirming that instead of seeing Edge and Christian, which it says right here, that we're going to be seeing Chuck Palumbo and Christian, because Christian pulled a fast one. Pulled a fast one. Chris Benoit, no sir. Not Chris Jericho. Jesus, too many Chris's. There we go. Put it in there, WCW United States Championship. As Christian, who is the champion, and as he just revealed, will not turn his back on the WWF, and is still going to represent them, despite, wanting to beat down on his brother, will face Chuck Palumbo over the U.S. title. This card is starting to shape up a little bit here. We then move on to just a quick little freestyle segment here. Nothing too special, just like that half screen showing both DDP and Chris Benoit making their way down towards the ring as we lead into our main event match. Yes. Main event match that gets a solid B rating here with an 82 in a superb match. Diamond Dallas Page goes over Chris Benoit. No shenanigans, no nothing. Back and forth contest with DDP catching Benoit out of nowhere. Maybe Benoit was getting ready for the diamond cutter and like pulling his arm down, but Page, quickly pulls himself out of it and hits the diamond cutter. I don't know, something like that. Hits the diamond cutter on him after 12 minutes, 59 seconds to go over Chris Benoit here. DDP with an 83, Benoit with an 89, and Chris Benoit is improving in performance. And that goes ahead and books in yet another match for Survivor Series. So we already know Kurt Angle will be battling Booker T, but we now know that we will once again see The Rock and DDP go to war, but this time over the World Championship. WWF World, or we'll just say WWF Championship. The Rock, who of course is the champion and is representing the WWF. It's going to be People's Champion versus People's Champion once again. with DDP representing WCW. Benoit's improving in performance. We end the show to get a 85 B+ rating here. Apparently we used Chavo Guerrero way too much and Gregory Helms too much, and it increased our popularity in one region. What a shame. I'm more worried about Gregory Helms now. We got to check on that. We have some unread emails and decisions. I don't know what the decision is. Gregory Helms hurt badly. Bad news came in for the fans of Gregory Helms. It has been reported. Shoot. Chris Parks, a.k.a. Abyss. Don Montoya Rising. Guess we'll shortlist him. Kurt Angle's got that internet support. So Gregory Helms is injured. 30,000. Let's check him out. Let's see how badly. Physical. 5 months, 3 weeks. Golly. Damage, cruciate ligaments. 5 months, 3 weeks. Shit. Well, that's just great. We can play that in the Molly storyline, but good lord. Pay raise from Jamie Noble. Bro, are you kidding me? Let me look at your popularity real quick. Let's see how you've risen. It has gone up, to be fair to him, It's not like he hasn't gotten popular. How bad is this? I'm currently paid 25,000, which is a lot lower. You know what? We'll give it to him. There you go, Jamie. Give it to Jamie. So, good lord, man. Gregory Helms, medical. Following a star next to it means that they can still do angles, but none of them. So 2 of my cruiserweights are out. Good lord. That sucks, dude. That really sucks. I wonder if X-Pac and Gregory Helms are going to be back in time for WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. That's a shame. Well, we might as well go ahead and remove Gregory Helms from this storyline and just make it Spike. Got to come up with a way to add that in there. And we can also go ahead and confirm what I believe everybody already knew and put DDP back on this, but put that 2 in there since this is our second time. So check out storylines before we end this off. I guess technically that this would be Chuck Palumbo now. But I'm going to go ahead and just do this real quick because I think we all know where this might be going. Look at that, 91, and then it starts this. Lita, Molly. Not too bad. Everything's looking pretty good, I think. Either way, nerds and geeks, that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, my name has been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB, and I will see you guys for everyone's favorite show, Sunday Night Heat. But if you just don't know the joys of Heat, I'll see you for Raw. So until then, have a great day.